Hello, I'm Czardus, and let's play City Skylines. Today I want to talk about some of the maps in the Plazas and Promenades DLC as we continue our search for the best maps in City Skylines. So today, right now, we are looking at the Cape Apple map, which is a temperate map. It has all connections, and looking at it, it reminds me immediately of the New York region. So, I mean, this kind of feels like Manhattan and Brooklyn and Jersey over here somewhere. I think I don't know the region as well as some do, but I think that is kind of what they were going for, especially with the name Cape Apple. But let's go ahead and take a look here. So you have your start square is right down here. You can see that is the starting area that you have to work with. If you are playing vanilla, if you're playing with 81 tiles, then of course you can unlock everything. But you've got your rail line that comes along the highway here. We have a very basic vanilla interchange here that is very poorly done. And then a bridge going into your starting area. So then from there, you're going to have to expand either this way or over here. And let's take a look at some of the other things. Now, we don't have ore and things turned on, so that is a little bit of a difficulty. Let's rectify that. And now, magically, everything is unlocked. Let's see, natural resources. So we do have a little bit of a trouble with resources on this map. We have a little bit of forest in the starting area, and then you've got fertile land up this way that you would easily be able to unlock there. But oil, you barely have a little bit here, and ore, you only have a little bit on this island. None of the rest would be really accessible in vanilla, so you'll want to keep that in mind when you're looking at this map. Wind is pretty fine, you don't have to worry about that at all. Terrain is very flat. It's a very flat map, and you can really do a lot with that. Transit, your ship path comes up here through this main river, and that is the one that you would be able to work in. So your industry would probably end up over on this side. But that is pretty much that for the Cape Apple map. Let's move on to the next. And now we are in the Coastal Gem map, a tropical map that actually has a pretty good interchange here. You know, it is not great. It has a lot of problems that are seen in vanilla, but it is actually a pretty cool style and unusual for a lot of vanilla maps. So that is it. I mean, it comes in and it leads into the main start square, which is pretty cool. It has this bluff going down to the beach then, which is also a feature not usually seen in maps. That actually is a very realistic look to a beach, I feel like. I mean, for vanilla, of course. But anyway, so this is the start square area. And you have all four connections on this map too. You've got rail coming in over here. There's a little trench in here that is a cool little addition that maybe is trying to be defensive. Yeah, you can see that it would be hard to attack up here because of the cliffs. So an army probably would come in and do a landing here, and the trench is very well placed for that to make it realistic. Then we have our highways coming in this way. You can see, and that was not what I wanted. I wanted to come in here and show you then the natural resources. So we've got trees there. We have a little bit of fertile land, not much in terms of resources on this map either. You do get a little ore over there and a tiny bit of oil up there, but if you're playing without oil, unlimited oil and ore turned on, you are not going to get much out of this map with in terms of those two resources. Now let's take a look at the shipping line, which is way out here. So you'd probably need to get your port over in here, or maybe build something out on this little peninsula. wind, we are fine on that too, mainly by the water. Your wind goes down in this third square up above there. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But terrain-wise, it is also a pretty flat map. You've got a little bit of rise for the interchange here, and then you've got a little rolling hill over there. But other than that, it's really just the bluffs that you have to consider when you're planning out your city here. Let's take a look at fish. We didn't take a look at fish in the other one, but we don't really have very much variety in the fish. And yeah, anyway, so that is the Coastal Gem map. Let's move on to the next one. I am so excited to partner with Apex Gaming PCs to bring you a custom line of gaming PCs named after some of my most popular series. I've worked with their team to put together an amazing setup for playing games like Cities Skylines. There's a link to see the full line in both the description below and the pinned comment. Oh, and be sure to use the discount code Czardus to receive up to $250 off your purchase. Okay, and now we are in the Gondola Islands map, which is a European map with all connections, and clearly it is inspired by Venice. If we zoom out here, you've got a giant island here with river or canals going through, and you've got a whole archipelago that you can build with. And I might, in fact, do some building on this at some point, but not today, obviously. But anyway, we are coming in here. And looking at here, you've got your highway coming into the start square here. And we can look at the terrain really quick. I see that there is a hill here that might be indicating a good spot for a canal to go through. If I were building on this map, I think that would be a wise choice for a canal there. But anyway, then you've got very flat terrain elsewhere. You've got a little bit of a hill over there. And basically, your 9 tiles, I mean, you're probably going to, if you're doing vanilla, you're going to get these 4. Well, maybe not that one. Actually, this one, that one, and you might even go out this way. But it is a pretty cool map. And now, terrain-wise, or natural resources, we've got a little bit here. We've got farming on both sides. You've got a little bit of forest, and you've got ore and oil out that way. But you don't really have a ton of other resources on the map. You've got a little bit out there if you're using mods and can get out of your 9 tiles area. But other than that, this one is pretty good. It does have all connections. Your train comes in way over here, though. So you might even, yeah, actually, that is not conducive to vanilla play. I mean, if you look over here, you'd have to go 2 tiles out that direction in order to get that. And you probably would want to do that anyway, because your ship route is, actually, you'd have to decide. Look at that. You have a ship over here, or you can get rail over there. You would have to make that choice playing this map. So that is a very intriguing thing about this map, but that is it. Let's move on to the next one. All right, now we are at Oracle Lake. It is a boreal map, a boreal theme, I should say, and it has all connections as well. And what I like about this one is there's a little bit of good detailing for a vanilla map. If you look in here, okay, so what you've got is you have this ocean out here and then a little bit of a bay with a mouth of a river. And then you have a like lake type thing here that feeds into the river, and you have the river going out that way with a couple of islands in the river, which are nice. You do have this shipwreck here, which seems a little bit out of place because there aren't any ship paths going down the river. But what you do have is over here, you've got this like muddy terrain through here that feeds over to the lake, which I am pretty sure this is what they mean by Oracle Lake. So that is what you've got. Here you have your start square, a basic vanilla interchange here and here leading into your start square. You also have this lighthouse, which is probably not in the right spot. If I were to do a lighthouse on this map, it probably would be out here. But anyway, then you do have a little bit of a castle up here on this cliff, which is a nice spot for a castle as well. And it is a custom build. It has a tower and then a little bit of a wall in there. So that whoever built this or whoever designed this one at Colossal Order did a bit of good detail work on that. But anyway, let's go in and take a look at terrain. You've got a nice buildable area in here as well as the surrounding tiles. So you can build a nice city in that space. You have a cliff there or like a mountain leading up this way, a mountain over there, kind of a nice valley to build in with this water too. I think it would be a natural spot for a city to develop. Natural resources wise, we have a little bit of ore near the start square and a little bit there that was painted, or like used that terrain to paint. You've got oil over there, a little bit of fertile land, not a whole lot of fertile land on this map, but you do have some trees and stuff like that. So those are the things about this map. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, and the fifth and final map from this DLC, the Plazas and Promenades DLC, is Splitz Tributary. I think that's what it's called. Yep, Splitz Tributary. It is a European map with all connections. And having made maps myself, and you can find some of those on the workshop, there's a link down below to my workshop page. But anyway, having made some maps, I feel like the waterwork on this one is rather impressive. You can see that we've got probably a water source back here that feeds down this way into a little lake. And then it comes down here and joins another one, which is already a little bit hard to do to get water to come in here. It slows down a little bit there and then joins here. And then it comes down this way. And then it splits here, and that is also hard to do. There's probably another water source here, and then that feeds out this way and joins another river there and comes over here. And then this one splits even more over this way and comes down, but the water flow is strongest in this largest part here. So then we have a rather nice interchange here, using some of the new roads that were just released from the alongside, or like the patch that came alongside this DLC. And that is pretty cool to see as well. Now that goes into your start square here, which is, you know, a nice flat piece of land like most start squares. You do have a little bit of an island here, and then you've got a little bit of this like an old spot where the river used to go, I'm assuming. The same thing over here, you have a little bit of the river used to come up this way, or the river used to cut through there. So, and then you've got a castle there too. But the tiles that you can build on here are probably just going to be your center areas in here. And so that is something to keep in mind. Then let's take a look at resources as well. We have a little bit of oil, but that was really just painted. On this map, the oil is really just used to paint the different parts of the map. You have a little bit of fertile land here and here near your start square, and a little bit more out that way that might be useful. And of course, you've got a little bit of ore there and your forestry area. Terrain-wise, you have a nice hill over here and a nice hill over here framing the valley where your city can go. So this map overall is a pretty cool map. You also have this other highway over here that you could access at some point as well. And then your rail comes in over on this side and over here. So you have multiple rail connections here, and your ship path comes up the river to about there. So you do need to expand out of your starting square to get any of the connections, and you would have to make the strategic choice of which direction to go. But that is it. Those are the 5 maps. I like them all. They all look really good. But yeah, if you have enjoyed this, be sure to click on the screen now to see a video about the maps in the Map Pack Content Creator Pack. So check that out next. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you next time. Take care.